Skin cancer, probably one of the common chronic diseases like CHF, COPD, diabetes. At All County Healthcare, we teach you how to manage your disease. We make sure you know how to take your medications and how to recognize signs and symptoms before requiring hospitalization, no matter how many visits it takes. You didn't move to Florida to be sick. You moved here to enjoy the rest of your life. And that's exactly what our team of nurses, therapists, and aides at All County Healthcare help you do.
The following programming is furnished by you and your doctor.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Good evening, South Florida. This is John here from All County Healthcare. All County Healthcare sponsors this show, You and Your Doctor. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified home health agency carrying a 4.5 star rating. You can reach us at any time at 954-717-7027. We provide nurses, therapists of all types, and home health aides to our Medicare patients in Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade counties. This evening, we have a special guest with us here from the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County. We welcome Dr. Caitlin Clancy, DPM, specializing in reconstructive foot and ankle surgery. Dr. Clancy comes to us with many years of experience as a DPM and works out of numerous offices in Palm Beach County. The Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County has 3 convenient locations in which she sees patients at each one. We have one in Lake Worth on JFK Drive. We have a second on Hagen Ranch Road in Boynton Beach, and the 3rd location in Wellington. I now give you Dr. Clancy. Welcome to our show, Dr. Clancy, and thank you so much for being our guest and joining our listeners and viewers.
Thank you for having me this evening.
Absolutely. Can you tell our listeners and viewers a little bit about your experience, education, training, and background?
Sure. So I am actually originally from West Palm Beach, Florida. I received my undergraduate degree at University of South Florida up in Tampa. And then I went on to receive my doctorate in pediatric medicine from Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Following that, I came back to Florida and I did a 3-year rear foot reconstructive surgical residency at JFK Medical Center right in Atlantis over here.
That is wonderful. And we love Temple University. Our head administrator, actually, his daughter just got accepted to Temple. Go Owls! We love Temple. Yeah. And of course, we love our South Florida Bulls as well. And we are so happy that you came back down to Palm Beach County to practice. And it's going to be very good for our patients and for the people down here who really need good DPMs to see them to address their foot and ankle situations and problems. So tell us a little bit about more about your medical specialty pertaining to the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County.
So the Orthopedic Center is a multi-specialty group. So we have a variety of doctors, including pain management doctors, orthopedics. There are 4 podiatrists, and we have a large physical therapy unit as well. The podiatrists at the Orthopedic Center primarily concentrate on forefoot and rear foot reconstructive surgery. That's what my residency primarily trained me to do. So I basically treat a whole gamut of things, specifically rear foot and forefoot deformities, angular deformities. I treat the basic common disorders of the foot and ankle, such as plantar fasciitis, neuromas. I treat bunions. I do treat a lot of sports injuries, specifically ankle sprains in athletes and adolescents as well as adults. I've been trained in total ankle joint replacements, so I also do those as well. And then, of course, because I'm one of the newer physicians, I take a lot of ER call, so I also do a lot of trauma. So a lot of ankle fractures, heel fractures, stuff like that.
Excellent. Wow, it sounds like you cover from A to Z in the foot and ankle. Folks, we're here with Dr. Caitlin Clancy, DPM from the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County. She has been so kind to join us here. You can call in or email into our platform with any questions you might have. Dr. Clancy, once again, practices at the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County, and she's available at 3 different locations. If you need to make an appointment or receive a consultation of any type, you can reach them at 561-967-6500. That is the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County. They're conveniently located. Their main office is right near JFK Medical Center. They have 2 other convenient offices, one in West Boynton Beach, as well as one in Wellington. And we are so happy to hear that Dr. Clancy sees patients at all 3 of these locations. So, Dr. Clancy, what is the age range of patients that you treat?
So I typically start around ages 10 or 11. I do see some pediatrics.
Excellent. Okay, and I can assume that you go all the way up and you've got some, or several, in this case, elderly patients as well?
Yes, definitely.
Well,
Definitely
that is
in
great.
West
And
Palm Beach.
folks, you heard that. She treats pediatrics. So those of you moms and dads who have your very active kids out there playing soccer, football, softball, baseball, volleyball, or whatever it might be, if you have an injury, Dr. Caitlin Clancy is here for you. Don't be afraid to give them a call at 561-967-6500, and you can get a free consultation as to how Dr. Clancy and her talented staff can help you. Thank you for that, Dr. Clancy. So how does a patient typically come and see you? Do they need any type of referral from a primary care physician, or can they usually start the process off by just coming to your office as a new patient?
So typically, I really don't think most of my patients require referrals, and that might have something to do with the types of insurances we actually take. I know we take the basic Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, obviously Medicare, probably missing Cigna. We definitely take Cigna. I think we take some of the Coventry. Some of the HMO plans do require a referral, but many patients don't need a referral to come see me. And if they do, they just will go to their primary care physician, and that's how they get the referral.
Oh, that is wonderful and convenient. That is fantastic. So you answered my next question for our folks here, which is always what type of insurance. Sounds like you take a full spectrum. And folks, if you ever have a question in regards to that, you can always reach out to Dr. Clancy in the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County at 561-967-6500. You can also check their really fantastic website. They have numerous platforms as well as instructional videos of Dr. Clancy and some of the other doctors, like Dr. Max Modestin, who was on our show a month or so back. But you can go to their website at www.ocpbc.com. That is O as in orthopedic, C as in center of Palm Beach County.com. And it is very, very well-versed. It covers all platforms, and I love the interactive videos as well. It's a great, great platform you guys have going there. So specifically being a DPM, and I understand that it runs in the family.
Yeah.
But what areas really spark your interest in today's world? Because we have more people more active than ever. Can you expand a little on that and tell our listening audience what's new?
So I was trained in arthroscopy, which is somewhat newer in this day and age. And basically, arthroscopy is just a minimally invasive technique in order to perform surgery. So it's done in other areas of surgical procedures, like laparoscopic procedures are performed as well.
Okay.
So basically, what this is everything is performed under a tiny camera. And this allows for a minimally invasive technique, smaller incision, smaller dissection, and a faster recovery for the patients. And I think that healthcare and medicine in general is really, leaning towards this direction. So I'm lucky to have the training to do these procedures.
Excellent. Very interesting. And I know that our listening audience loves to hear about minimally invasive surgeries, and the robotic surgeries and these new techniques are absolutely fascinating and very, very successful. They also cut down the recovery time. Is that correct, doctor?
Yes, they do.
That's very good. So we know that you practice with the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County, but I understand you're also on staff at JFK Medical Center, JFK North, and Palms West.
Yes, I am. I'm on staff at all three hospitals, and I take a lot of ER call
Oh,
at mostly JFK Main and Palms West.
okay, that's great. So tell us what is your typical day being on call at any of those hospitals besides dealing with emergencies? Bring our audience through a typical day.
So I work with the residents at JFK Main, which I love. I love working with them, especially because I trained there. So it is, nice to have the residents there. They're very helpful. The ER will call them, and then they'll call me, run me, give me a brief interview of the patient, and then I'll go and see the patient. JFK Main is definitely the busiest hospital that I'm on staff at. So my call schedule is typically a week at a time, and it's typically trauma. A lot of ankle fractures, ankle dislocations, a lot of calcaneal fractures, which is a heel fracture. It's a busy hospital. The staff is great there. I love working there.
That's fabulous. And a lot of our listening audience is not that familiar with JFK North. Where exactly is that located, and how big is that hospital?
JFK North is a little bit a smaller campus. It's off of 45th Street and 95. I actually do not take call at JFK North, but I am on staff there. And I actually went there very often as a resident. The OR staff there is great, but I don't take call there.
Okay. Well, folks, we're here with Dr. Caitlin Clancy, DPM from the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County, and she's just let us know, and this is something very important to remember. If you're a patient of hers, she's on staff at these variety of different hospitals, JFK North, and Palms West. This is important because she can come in and see you if you have a traumatic injury of some sort, or she might be just working there on staff that day, or you and your loved one happen to be there. This is very important to the community. I think it's a great asset, and it's another valuable tool in your tool bag. So we appreciate that. Folks, Dr. Caitlin Clancy sees patients at 3 different offices. So how do you juggle your schedule? I understand you see patients Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at your Lake Worth office, which is right near JFK Medical. And then you see patients on Monday at your Boynton Beach office on Hagen Ranch, and Tuesday and Friday at Wellington. So tell us about that. And I know it's a super convenience to the population here, and especially Palm Beach County, but bring us through that and why you decided to go in that direction.
So the Wellington office is located off of 441, right by Wellington Regional Hospital. Um, that area, attracts obviously the Wellington population. Our JFK office is the oldest office that we've had. It's our busiest office, and it's right next to JFK Medical Center, which is really helpful because the patients, even just from the ER, will come over to the office and be seen. And then our Boynton office, which is on Hagen Ranch Road and Boynton Beach Boulevard, we also have a surgery center that is downstairs, which is really helpful because, you can see I can see patients in the morning at the Boynton Beach office, go downstairs and do a surgery, and then go back upstairs and see patients in the afternoon. And it's a great surgery center.
Oh, that is a very big convenience, excellent convenience, and we're covering all areas. So if you live on the north end of the county, you can come down and see, well, depending if you're out west, you can come down and see her in Wellington, located at 1221 South State Road 7, Suite 200 in Wellington. If you live more in the southern end, whether you're in Boca Raton, Delray, or Boynton Beach, you can see her at the West Boynton office at 10275 Hagen Ranch Road, Boynton Beach, and the central location right there at Atlantis, right near JFK Medical Center on JFK Drive, Suite 100. You couldn't ask for more convenience, and Dr. Clancy is very passionate about care. She wants to bring her patients back to the healthiest lifestyle and most active and best quality of life they can. So this is another great asset. We appreciate that greatly. Dr. Clancy, is there, say, a specific time that you can see your patients? I do see on the website it states 8:30 to 5. Is that the typical office hours for visits?
Yes, I actually start at 8 a.m. So it's 8 a.m. to, I think the last appointment in the morning is 11:45, and then we start again at 1, and our last appointment is around 5 o'clock, yes.
Absolutely fabulous throughout the whole day. Well, folks, we've been speaking to Dr. Caitlin Clancy. We're going to take a short commercial break and hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027, or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. Into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
Good evening, everyone here in South Florida. We are back. We are All County Healthcare with You and Your Doctor radio show. We're here with Dr. Caitlin Clancy from the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County. Dr. Clancy is a DPM specializing in reconstructive foot and ankle surgery. She is on staff with JFK Medical Center, JFK North, and Palms West. And she works out of 3 offices conveniently located throughout the county. Lake Worth office on JFK Drive in Atlantis, the Boynton Beach office on Hagen Ranch Road in West Boynton Beach, and the Wellington office on State Road 7. If you have any questions or want to receive more information, you can reach out to Dr. Clancy and her staff at 561-967-6500. And Dr. Clancy is happy also to take emails. You can email her directly at Caitlin, which is CAITLAN.Clancy, CLANCY at O as in orthopedic center cpbc.com. That is at ocpbc.com. Once again, Dr. Caitlin Clancy, and thank you again for our second half of our show. Dr. Clancy, we've had many questions and inquiries about the flat foot deformity, and we understand that you're a specialist in treating this type of deformity. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so flat foot deformity has many different areas and can be elaborated on in hours. But there is something called a pediatric flat foot deformity, and then there is an acquired flat foot deformity. The acquired flat foot deformity occurs in patients who are older or geriatric patients. The adolescent flat foot deformities, sometimes they actually get better on their own as the patient gets older. These are typically, we try to treat these conservatively without surgery, but there is also surgical procedures that can be performed to correct the flat foot deformity. In older patients, the flat foot deformity is typically caused by something called posterior tibial tendon dysfunction, and that's typically how the patients present. There's a spectrum of treatment, options depending upon where the patient is in the disease process, you could say. The patients who become extremely arthritic go on to have fusion corrections. Patients who are a little bit younger, who aren't as arthritic, you can actually fix their deformity with osteotomies. And in terms of non-surgical treatment, which non-surgical treatment or conservative treatment is always tried before we go on to any type of surgical treatment, we try periods of immobilization, physical therapy, bracing, and custom molded orthotics.
Excellent. That covers all questions, and that was very detailed. Thank you so much for that. So, folks, if you or your loved one or your child, in this case, because we know Dr. Clancy sees pediatrics, which is so convenient, you can bring them in to see Dr. Clancy, have a consultation done. Why suffer? Why go through any pain or discomfort when somebody like Dr. Clancy can assess the problem and let you know what your options are? They do offer non-invasive procedures, as she said, and they also offer surgical if it's something more serious. Thank you for that explanation. Dr. Clancy, what is Calvus foot?
Cavus foot.
Okay.
Cavus foot is it's basically the opposite of flat foot.
Okay.
So a cavus foot deformity is a high arch deformity, and it's actually treated in a similar kind of algorithm to flat foot. There's conservative treatment, and then there's your surgical treatment, and there are osteotomies that can be done surgically if the patient is not arthritic. When the patient is arthritic, it becomes some type of fusion. I will say that high arch feet are harder to treat than flat foot deformities, just because flat foot is way more common than a cavus foot deformity.
Absolutely. And folks, we remember our feet are our foundation, and it's so important to take good care of your feet. That's why we have our special guest, Dr. Caitlin Clancy, here from the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County, explaining to us a variety of different ailments that we or our loved ones, have. Thank you for going in detail about that. And that is interesting. I wasn't aware of that. I know that some people are born with higher arches, some people with flat feet, but it's nice to know that there is also some techniques and treatment methods to alleviate that. Thank you. So tell us about, and please correct me if I'm saying this wrong, hallux valgus deformity.
Yes, hallux valgus deformity is also known as a bunion deformity. And that's that bump that you have on the medial aspect or the inside aspect of your toe. I'm trying to say this in layman's terms. I do treat bunion deformities. Unfortunately, bunions are a little bit harder to treat conservatively. We still use orthotics. Patients can use wider shoes. There are some padding, strapping mechanisms that can be used, but most frequently they do need to be surgically fixed.
Excellent. Okay, that's very interesting, and also nice to know that patients can come see you for that.
Yes, definitely.
What are some regular preventative exercises or stretches that you would give to the average patient that would come to see you to prevent any type of injuries?
So the Achilles tendon is probably the most important, tendon in terms of for stretching and rehabilitation. Many patients come in with Achilles tendonitis, Achilles tendinopathy. I would say eccentric stretches is probably the most important thing you can do, lengthening exercises. So stretching morning and night, especially after activity. You should be stretching before your run and after your run. Depending upon what you're doing, I also treat a lot of dancers, and I find that it's important that they rehab the small intrinsics in their feet, because I think that really helps with stabilizing their foot while they're dancing. So it really just depends on what your activity is, what your hobby is, in terms of, what you should really be stretching. Overall, though, I would say it's the Achilles tendon, and it's a lengthening stretch that you want to perform.
Excellent. Thank you for that advice. Thank you, Dr. Clancy. Dr. Clancy is here for your needs, folks, and she's been a wonderful guest. We're going to have you back on, Dr. Clancy, because we weren't able to cover a few of the areas, but you did an amazing job at really describing and giving detailed descriptions about your treatments, both invasive and non-invasive. Well, we know that you are going to be back with us hopefully soon to discuss more. Thank you so much for joining us. Folks, have a wonderful and safe evening, and thank you once again for joining us here on You and Your Doctor radio show.
Thank you for letting us share with you a longer and healthier lifestyle. If you have a doctor or are a doctor and wish to be on the show, call AMP2 TV at 866-244-5422, and we will put you on the air as soon as possible. Tune in next week for more information on living longer and having a healthier life.